Alice in Chains are coming to Hamilton August 22nd for a show at the First Ontario Centre. On the line from California, I have the bassist from Alice in Chains, Mike Inez. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic, Nick. It's super hot here in Los Angeles, so I can't wait to come up north and hang out with you all.
You guys have just come back from Europe. How's the summer been for you so far?
It's been good. A lot of a lot of jamming with our old friends. We just did a Metallica Stadium tour, and we did those with Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden. So there was a lot of good summertime jamming in Europe for us this year. So we're gonna end our summer up there with you guys.
And Alice in Chains live in Hamilton August 22nd. Have you guys ever been to the Hammer before?
Oh yeah, I think we played there. I think we played there a couple years ago with Monster Truck, and we're taking them out with us again. I absolutely, just for the record, love the Monster Truck. God, I can't say enough good about those guys.
Great rock and roll band from Hamilton, and we love that you love the Hammer rock and roll.
Oh yeah, and I always try to sit in with Monster Truck whenever we play with them. I try to get up there and jam that song "Sorted Beast" off their first EP. So I'm their biggest fan and supporter. So I love the truck. And
they obviously grew up on bands like Alice in Chains, so it must be a really, really cool connection.
Oh yeah, they're such great guys. God, everybody in Canada is so nice. Every time we come up there, it's just we have the best time.
I was going to ask, what's the relationship that you've had with Canada over the years? How does it compare to shows at home and in the States and elsewhere?
Oh, we just love Canada. It's just that the people are so nice there. We've done those Calgary Stampedes and, even Sky Dome. Back when I was in the Aussie band, the Sky Dome, and, just a bunch of those kind of shows, that were just amazing. I've always had a good time up there. Just beautiful humans.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I want to talk a bit more about Alice in Chains 2.0, as I like to call it. You guys reunited back in 2005 with William Duvall on the vocals. 2 records in with the new lineup. How do you think the sound of Alice in Chains has evolved since you guys have gotten back together and been doing your thing?
No, it's like you can't even... If you start thinking about it too much, it's going to screw you up, So I always keep it simple for myself. No matter who I'm jamming with, but especially Alice in Chains. It's like I always try to just concentrate on the room. We're just 4 guys in a room jamming and making a bunch of racket. We're not curing cancer. I wish we were. We're not bringing down the price of bread or anything. I wish we were, but we're not. We're just making a bunch of rock songs in a room,
Well, you need rock and roll music in the world in order for the world to turn. So you guys are doing an essential service as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and as long as we like it in the small room, then we'll go play in the bigger rooms or up to the big stadiums or whatever, But it's still, we try to keep that mindset of it's just 4 guys jamming songs in a room. And, if you start thinking about other stuff too much, then you start letting other things creep into your creative process, like, oh, maybe I should use different guitars, or maybe this song isn't good and we should try the other song. It's just like you got to really trust yourself when it gets down to it.
And I've always wondered... Sorry.
Is what we do is we trust each other, after so many years together. I've been with the guys 21, 22 years now at this point, So, they're my best friends, and we trust each other. So I think that goes a long way in a rock band, We're not scotch taped together like a lot of bands, like a lot of newer bands,
There's a real brotherly connection in there.
Yeah, good and bad. So.
And I've always wondered, what does a typical Alice in Chains jam look like when you guys get together to do your thing? What do you guys do? How does it come about that you come up with these awesome songs?
Oh, normally we all show up at different times and then look for food. And then kind of just like one guy will just pick up a guitar and start jamming. We're very blessed by Jerry's such a great songwriter, and William brings a guitar dynamic into the band. He plays a lot more guitar than than Lane did. And we try to take it nice and slow, and just play what sounds good for us. I think that's the most important part.
And after so many years and so many albums, which songs do you really still enjoy playing? Are there any songs that you don't like to play anymore, or is it just all good?
I'm the guy in the band. I like the heavy stuff, so I'm all about the Damn That River and We Die Young and the faster moving kind of stuff, And but then other days you go up there to play and vibey stuff, Rotten Apple or slower sludgy stuff. It all depends on your mood that day, which is kind of why we switch up the set list every day. We try to, anyways. And I think it's a blessing that we have so many songs to choose from. There's no way we can play them in just a couple hours, you know. So, there's somebody always walking away pissed off, like, oh, I wanted to hear the song Dirt, or I wanted to hear something off the first album, or I wanted to hear something off the new album. So we can't play them all, even though we want to. It's just physically impossible.
Well, a lot of bands these days have been doing full albums. They'll do a show where they do one of their records in full. Have you guys ever thought about doing something like that?
God, no, actually, we never have. Yeah, there was talk of, like, anniversary shows and things like that, but I don't know. It's kind of like you're thinking about the past too much. We're more concerned about moving the ball forward, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, man, for sure. Looking ahead to the future. We're talking to Mike Inez, bass player for Alice in Chains. They're coming to Hamilton August 22nd for the show at the First Ontario Centre. And we do a bit here on Y108 called the Acoustic Brunch, where we play all acoustic tunes. We play a lot of great acoustic Alice in Chains songs, especially from the Unplugged gig back in 1996. You guys have always had that acoustic side to your sound. Any plans to maybe do an acoustic tour in the future?
I would love to. It seems like it comes up in conversations a lot. And maybe one of these days we'll do that. I think it's just a great golf club to have in our bag. I think it's nice to go and strip stuff down. Once I noticed that one thing I noticed was when we did that Unplugged album, like some of the songs are even heavier acoustic, like say Sledge Factory and stuff like that. It just sounded so much heavier, just stripped down like that. So it's interesting to me the way that stuff changes when you break it down like that, which I thought was the genius of the whole Unplugged thing,
And they say the genius of a song is always being able to play it acoustic, and that's when the song itself really shines through.
Yeah, you hope. But yeah, it's just, I wish he would do that more often now. It's like, God, I miss those days of, like, say, MTV would have a video premiere or something, and then, like, everybody collectively at the same time would tune in at, like, Friday night at 11 o'clock to see that new video. It was more like a collective shared experience. Now, you do a video, you throw it up on your YouTube website or whatever, and then it's like people click on it one at a time, I think there's something lost in this generation,
Yeah, well, now the video premieres on YouTube, and people can watch it whenever they want. The magic is just really lost with that kind of thing. Yeah,
I think the live experience is so important. And playing Unplugged is just it's flying without a net kind of thing. There's not a whole lot of effects on your stuff, and it's just that's kind of like one of my favorites. I always say comedians are the real rock stars because they don't have anything. They just have a microphone and you're wit. Now, those guys are the real rock stars.
Yeah, I've always admired comedians. They really put it out there when they go on stage. At least when you're going on stage with Alice in Chains, there's all four of you guys up there. You guys can all do it together.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we still have a good time doing it.
Right on. Well, I have a gearhead question for you. I'm a musician myself. What bass and what amp are you rocking on this tour?
Oh, God, I could talk to you about this for hours. This is where I live. I love talking gear. I am still using my same, I use basically the same two basses that Ozzy Osbourne bought me back in 1990. They're Warwick basses, and I have an old Spectre, too, from the early 90s. The amp setup I'm using on this tour, I got, let's see, it's 1969 Ampeg and a classic head, and I got a 1972 classic Ampeg head, and I run two 810 cabinets on their sides over four 18. I use two SVT4 Pros to sub out on the 18s, so I get a really just good little bass sound up there,
Just a little bass sound.
Yeah. Actually, I scaled down. I used to go 6 18s, 12 15s, and 24 10s at the height of everything, and it was just too much. Jerry, I think, was going through 4 or 6 Wagner stacks at the same time, and it was just like just uncontrollable, So we scaled it down over the years, but that's still a whole lot of bass rig, and certainly loud enough for me. Yeah, there's times that I'll be jamming in my pants. I could see them just flipping in the wind in front of them. It was pretty amazing to see.
Sounds like Spinal Tap. Right on. Well. What's next for you guys? Any plans for a follow-up to The Devil's Put Dinosaurs here in the near future?
I I think we'll start talking about that after this tour. I think we got 14 more shows left. I mean, God, we've did the States twice. We've done Europe twice. We've done South America. We've done we just did Australia, Singapore, Japan, and God, we've just been all over this world, you know. So I think we just want to get through these 14 shows and go out with a bang. We're going to leave it all on the field in Canada, and I think we end in Nova Scotia, and then we'll come back and start getting some rest and strategizing for the next move, you know.
Yeah, recharge the batteries for the next run.
Oh yeah, my wife at this point is forgetting what I look like at home.
All right, well, stay at home for a little while after the tour. Spend time with your family, and we look forward to seeing Alice in Chains August 22nd at the First Ontario Centre.
Nice, with the Mighty Monster Truck, don't forget.
Oh, with the Mighty Monster Truck, of course. Maybe a little jam on stage together?
Oh, yeah, we'll do it for sure. Yeah, I love jamming with those guys. They're amazing.
Perfect. Mike Inez from Alice in Chains, August 22nd at First Ontario Centre. Thanks so much for chatting with us, Mike.
Okay, my pleasure. Come on by and say hi.